First up is Barry Allen, the Flash most people recognize. He's the classic red-suited hero, a forensic scientist who was struck by lightning and doused in chemicals, gaining a connection to the Speed Force. Barry can move at near-light speeds, phase through walls, time travel, heal rapidly, and create tornadoes with his arms. He's the benchmark for all speedsters, appearing across comics, animation, and live-action shows. His greatest enemy is Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, a man from the future obsessed with Barry, who turns into his most sadistic and relentless nemesis. Their rivalry spans timelines and tragedies, with Thawne often targeting Barry's loved ones just to make him suffer. Next is Jay Garrick, the very first Flash, introduced back in 1940. His powers originally came from inhaling heavy water vapors during a lab experiment, later retconned into a Speed Force connection. Jay isn't the fastest anymore, but he brings wisdom, experience, and a sense of legacy that grounds the entire Flash family. He's often depicted as a mentor figure, especially in the Justice Society of America. His most notable enemy is the rival, Edward Clarisse, a dark reflection of Jay, who recreated the speed formula and uses it for personal gain. Jay's presence reminds us that the Flash legacy didn't start with Barry, and it won't end with him either. Then there's Bart Allen, Barry's grandson from the 30th century. Born with a hyper-accelerated metabolism, he was aging too fast, so he was raised in a virtual world before being sent to the present. As Impulse, Bart is erratic and unpredictable, reacting faster than he can think. But that's also his strength. His brain works at the same hyperspeed as his body, allowing him to process information instantly. He eventually matures into Kid Flash, and even briefly takes on the mantle of the Flash. Bart's most personal villain is Inertia, a clone of Bart, who lacks his humanity and morality. Inertia is manipulative and cruel, pushing Bart to his emotional and physical limits, even causing his temporary death in one storyline. Deeper still, we meet John Fox, a Flash from the 27th century. He's a historian who traveled through time to recruit help from past speedsters, but in doing so, absorbs enough Speed Force energy to become a Flash himself. His powers are similar to other Flashes: super speed, time travel, energy projection, but they're wrapped in a futuristic setting. He often deals with threats unique to his era, like Moda, a radioactive villain who represents the kind of science-gone-wrong dangers of the future. John Fox is a lesser-known character, but a symbol of how the Flash mantle echoes far beyond our present timeline. Now we descend into darker territory with Walter West, the Dark Flash. He's an alternate version of Wally West who failed to save his wife, Linda Park. Devastated, he becomes more aggressive and emotionally unstable, crossing over into the main timeline and briefly replacing the real Wally. His powers are identical to Wally's, but his mindset is entirely different. He uses his speed as a weapon, with little concern for collateral damage. Walter doesn't have a traditional villain. Instead, he is the threat. His story is about grief, identity, and the danger of losing yourself to your pain. He's a tragic figure, a Flash who couldn't outrun his own heartbreak. Before I move on to the next Flash, this is a new channel, and if you enjoy this type of content, a like and follow would be greatly appreciated. Things get even more twisted with Red Death, a fusion of Batman and the Flash from the dark multiverse. In his universe, Bruce Wayne becomes obsessed with preventing loss and forcibly merges with Barry Allen using the cosmic treadmill. The result is a version of Batman with Speed Force powers and a fractured mind. Red Death commands devastating Speed Force attacks, creates vortexes to disorient foes, and can traverse dimensions. He doesn't have a single arch nemesis. His enemy is the multiverse itself. As part of the evil Justice League and Dark Knight's metal, Red Death represents what happens when obsession overrides morality. Speed and strategy fused into horror. Even deeper, we encounter the Black Flash. Not a person, but a cosmic force. The Black Flash is death for speedsters. When a runner's time is up,